Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode. What up, what up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast. Hey, before we get into this episode, I wanted to tell you about a couple of our partners. These are some of the folks that help us keep the podcast going, and they've been nice enough to offer some exclusive discounts for our listeners. Now, if you've watched us on YouTube, you all know how we love to display our kicks when we're not rocking them. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase your entire shoe, not just the heel, not just the toe, shoe trees, a number of other sneaker-related accessories. You can save 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY. You can find a link to Sneaker Throne in the description, or you can just head to sneakerhistory.com/sneakerthrone and it will send you directly to their site. Again, that's 10% off with the code HISTORY. Our friends at Prospect are the premier streetwear brand and sneaker boutique based in sunny San Diego, California. One of my favorite places. Prospect is not your typical hypebeast haven, though. They carry classic footwear from brands like Asics, New Balance, Puma, Saucony, as well as local and globally known streetwear brands like Belief, Illust, Rottweiler, Stussy, and many others. Not to mention their own Prospect label and the iconic Just a Kid from Dago collection. If you're a listener of the podcast, you can save 10% on all of your orders from Prospect through their website with the code HISTORY10. That's promo code HISTORY10 at PRSPCTSD.com. If you or someone you know is interested in sponsoring the podcast or becoming a partner with our community, get in touch with us. You can reach us by email at podcast@sneakerhistory.com, and we'll get back to you with information about how we can partner. And now for today's episode.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move!
LeBron James with no regard for human life. 12 seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast with my guys, Robbie and Rohit. Going to do my starting five episode today, and just catch up on some new LeBron stuff. So what's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
Sleep deprived, but okay. We've got a little one. She might be a LeBron fan. I think we tried to get her to watch some of the Space Jam 2. She was amused, so we're doing well. Robbie, how about yourself? You were living your best life, I believe.
Trying to. Just thinking about how I'm sleep deprived in a different way. Like, I just took like a 2-hour nap this afternoon because I'm basically a baby, but I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Nick, how are you?
Adorable.
I'm doing well. It's like we actually got some decent weather finally. It's no longer like 95, 100 degrees here, so I can't complain.
Fantastic. Well, we have, like Nick said, full LeBron today, which is my starting five. I'm going first. Rohit, you're going second, right?
Yep.
And
Nick has got the back-to-back picks, as always.
Nick bringing it up the rear. So this whole episode was spurred off of LeBron practicing with Brody and a black colorway of the LeBron 19. We know back in July, with in conjunction with Space Jam: A New Legacy, starring LeBron James, they released a special limited edition LeBron 19 for that movie. But as October starts to come around, we're going to start seeing the GRs and some kind of launch colorway is typically special in October, season launch colorway for every Nike athlete. There's something. So just LeBron 19 on the mind made us think about what are his best signature models. So I'm excited to have this with you too. We're going to be excluding soldiers, witnesses, ambassadors.
Boo.
So we're going just numeros. All right. And there's some good ambassadors now. It's funny that there's good ambassadors nowadays. But anyway, no witnesses, no air witnesses either. So just numeric. And you can include a low top version or a PS version or an elite version if it helps make the case for why you chose the shoe. So like, you're not going to be picking the LeBron 9 PS. You're going to pick the LeBron 9 and says, I like the 9 because yada, yada, yada. And the postseason look cool too. So just going off number, colorways, and distinguishing models can just help make your decision. So I'll jump it off. I've been going back and forth now since we even posed the question, and it's tough because I feel like the top of the top LeBron, it's top loaded. So I'm personally gonna go with the LeBron 3. Polarizing, weird pick, but so many good samples, and I think that's great. But why I connect to the LeBron 3 is I feel like it's the perfect amalgamation of what LeBron was when he came into the league. AZG, little unrefined. By year 3, it's big, it's strong, it's fast, it's zoom. It's just like it's heavy, but it's still fast. It's kind of what LeBron was at the time, and I could just go on and on for colorways. It's the most simple color blocking to complex. You can do whatever you want on that shoe, different materials. But just young LeBron, I believe he was 20 at that time, or just turning 21. The birthday, LeBron 3. Just crazy player.
Yeah. It's crazy player, crazy shoe. And I was wondering if you were going to go with a 3 because the scouting report I had on you was if that makes it past the first round, you're going to snap it up with the second. So good pick, Robbie. With my first overall pick, I will go for the aforementioned AZG, the Nike Air Zoom Generation LeBron 1. I think what really appeals to me about this particular shoe is some of those initial colorways that came out that we had no access to that have been retroed have made it a little more accessible to me as a collector, as well as somebody that wears it. And it's one of those ones that I find myself saying this every time we do one of these shows where it turns a lot of heads when you wear it. And for me, I think my favorite colorway thus far has been that St. Vincent St. Mary, but AZG 1 LeBron for me.
All right, good pick. I'm gonna go LeBron 7. I have to. That's my favorite one from the line. There's just too many good colorways on that shoe. Plus, the older I get, the more I appreciate the Air Max cushioning. So, and honestly, for my second pick, I'm gonna go probably LeBron 4. I just love that shoe. It's wild.
Good one.
It's a shoe that makes people talk.
They weren't ready for it. The people weren't, but I think we're ready for it now. And when the retro comes, it's going to be good.
We've been ready for it. The streets have been clamoring for it. And it's one of those ones that, would we say this is almost the spiritual successor to the foam in some ways, Nick?
I think so.
No, that's a great pick. I'm disgusted that you picked that and you picked 2 off my board. But really, if we're all being honest with ourselves, both of the ones you ended up with should be in most people's top 5. So then with my second overall pick, I will go with the Air Max Zoom LeBron 6. It's a very similar looking shoe to the 7, obviously, with the 6 and the 7. And some of the the colorways and the stories that they told with this one, I'm still holding out hope that if they do LeBron Watch again, people actually don't lose their damn minds, and we get to see that Family Guy edition make it to mass production, because my goodness, that is such a brilliant shoe. And even the 18th that borrows homage from that 6 almost made me cop it, but at the same time, I think the 6 is the one for me for my second overall pick. Robbie?
I did not see the 6 being selected in the second round. That's interesting. I'm going to go with the 8, right? It's kind of like when Sony responded, or Xbox responded to Sony at like a video game conference. They said the price and walked away. You kind of just had to say South Beach and like walk away. Like, that's what you need. Yep. This is what you need to know. But the Lakers, the Hardwood Classic colorways, I both got on the retro wave last year. I love, fun to wear, great shoe, comfortable, yada yada. Last LeBron with traditional materials, fantastic. So I'm going 8. And now I'm going to go with my favorite performance LeBron. The 10, I think, is the most comfortable. It's lightweight. It's high cut. It's supportive. It has all the bounciness. It has all like has everything you want in a basketball shoe. And I think, like, no shade on like adapt and everything and where shoes are going, but I feel like there's certain waves where it's like, all right, this is like the pinnacle of like basketball shoe and doesn't have to get that much better than this. And I think the LeBron 10 is one of those shoes where it's just like, all right, you can hoop in that shoe in 2010. You can hoop in it in 2020, 2030, 50. That shoe's always going to work. So
it's timeless.
Yep. The reverse swoosh, too.
Yeah. I was going to say that has always kind of been one of those things that I've always been interested to see. As LeBron gets bigger and bigger, does that swoosh get smaller and smaller? Because to me it does, but I'm just one person. And then the other interesting thing to note is the 10, I believe, was the first application of the Nike Plus basketball, which unfortunately died a quick death. But I thought it was really interesting that they were kind of ahead of their times in terms of the metrics that they were measuring with the shoe. With my third overall pick, I'll stick in that 6, 7, 8, 9 range, and I will go for the LeBron 9. I just think it's a unique shoe, and it's the first one of a model that you can kind of see influences in, let's say, the 12 and the 13. So yeah, I'll go with the 9. Not too many. The Canon colorways for me is probably the best colorway I can think of from that particular shoe.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Swingman still on my bucket list on the 9.
Hell yeah.
I would love to get a pair of those at some point. My next pick, I'm going to go, I love the straps, so I'm going to LeBron 5. Not a typical pick probably for a lot of people because it's pretty bulky and just over-the-top shoe, but I thought it was really dope that they kind of leaned into the whole king aspect, adding gold to a bunch of the colorways and, metallic bits and stuff. I think, it was definitely underappreciated back in the day, and it'll probably be one of those shoes that like actually gets a little bit more love when it comes back around.
Oh, it has to. I mean, it's got to pop in because it's like there's so many basic good colorways like China, just like the crimson and black, navy, all the gold hints you were talking about, the MVP, a lot of good stuff there.
Yep. And then my next pick, I am going to go, I guess another weird one for me, but it's just a personal favorite. The LeBron 11 with all that like crazy, geometric shaping and all that stuff. That particular shoe was just, I was really lucky to be working at Complex at that time. And like, they flew me out to New York. I was back in California, but they flew me out to New York and let me design one for Nike ID. And the whole experience was super dope. So, LeBron 11 always going to be near and dear to my heart.
So
remind me. Go ahead, Rob.
Notice that shoe gets a lot of flack, obviously, for being the one LeBron chose to walk away from. But if you break it in, like for us common pedestrians with the basketball shoe, if the first 5 wears are tough in the 11, but once you break it in, I think Nick, you can attest to this. Whatever they did in that cushioning setup, like your foot sinks into it in the best way. It's like when you're at not Home Depot, Walmart, and like they have like the foot orthotic, like it measures your pressure you put on it. Like the 11 does really mold super well to your foot. It feels
definitely. I think there was a discussion in the Discord about foam posits recently, and I personally am not a fan of foam posits, but there was a lot of talk about how long it takes for them to break in, and I think the 11, to your point about the 4, Rohit, is the progression of that technology and the way that it started to form to your foot. Like that shoe is super comfortable to me after I wear it for a few days in a row. But if you're not wearing it regularly, I could see how people just don't feel it, don't feel that it's comfortable enough.
All right, Ro, who's your next pick?
My next pick, and I'm kind of debating between one of two. And I will say this, just a simple little tangent back to the previous shoe. The King's Pride is probably one of my favorite intro colorways to a sneaker, so kudos on the 11. And with my next pick, I will go for one that I think is probably off the board a little, but the Zoom LeBron 15, because the Battle Knit, when it first came out, it was kind of jarring to not see a swoosh on there, but the analogy we kept seeing everywhere, and I think I made it to a couple friends personally, was it literally looked like dragon scale, and I think it was during the height of Game of Thrones, so that's why probably dragons were on the forefront of my mind more than any other time in my life growing up. But that 15 did a lot of great things. The equality colorway, I think some of the Kith colorways are also pretty unique and revolutionary for the time, so I'm going to go with the 15.
Yeah, you know what was really great about the 15 too was the LeBron watch colorways, because they did like the diamond turfs and the ACGs. There was a lot of great shoes, great colorways on that shoe.
Lots of goodies. What's funny about the 15 is like the Kith stuff does look cool, but it's some of the most unwearable looking shoes. It's like the most gaudy, big ankle straps. I have a pair of 15s. They're really cool. I like that shoe. So I'm happy I got through all of those picks, and I can still pick the LeBron 2. So I'm picking the LeBron 2. The Nike Zoom LeBron 2, I believe, is the formal name. The marketing, the Chamber of Fear shit, so cool. Strap, colorways, just being. How many good 3/4 shoes are there, really? I mean, listen, honestly, because that's like it's the most awkward height to pull off. It's like the Jordan 4 and 3 are like the pinnacle of 3/4, and then it's like mid dunks. So it's like I think the LeBron 2 is higher, is in between that dead space of 3/4 between like a dunk mid or an Air Force 1 mid, or even just think like an Ultra Boost mid. How awkward an Ultra Boost mid is. It's like, it's hard to pull 3/4 off, and I think the 2 does it really well. And then another kind of, I don't think it's odd we have to pick. There's 3 of us. That's 15 shoes. So LeBron 17, to bring a championship home to my Lakers. He did so wearing these really cool, like neon tennis ball force that kind of looks, it's kind of like the White Man Can't Jump Command Force that released in white that I have in the closet, but it's LeBron'd up. So it's tennis ball yellow. So just like that memory of seeing in the bubble, him just sitting on the court, just like, damn, I won a championship in LA. That shit's tight. And then the knit. Nick was talking about the evolution of Foamposite. The evolution of Flyknit, I think, is really showing out on the 17. You can do anything with that shoe and that material. So just a lot of good looks, a lot of pedestrian ones. I'm not going to lie. Like all of that, like Monstar stuff looks awful, but there's a lot of good stuff too. And a championship. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, the championship kind of reigns supreme when it comes to that. I think for my last pick, and please correct me if I'm wrong because I thought I was tabulating this, but I think the 8 is still open, so I'll just take my talents to South Beach wearing those sneakers.
You were incorrect, sir, because I took the 8 with my second pick.
Dag nabbit. Okay, there we go. So I owe you $5 because clearly I knew this was going to happen. So in this case, man, there are some slim pickings. I'll go for the LeBron 12.
12 is good.
Sorry, I will take that back. I will go the Zoom LeBron 13 because the All-Star Gator colorway, because I think it was in New Orleans. That's my pick.
So the LeBron 13, you're getting them mixed up. So 12 had the Gumbo League. No, the LeBron 11 had the Gumbo League. Was the buy?
Did it? Okay. LeBron, and I'm sure people are going to correct us, so apologies there.
No, because the 13, it's one of the first shoes I got for free from Nike was the LeBron 13 All-Star. And it's like this general looking shoe. Man, those things long gone. Those were re-gifted. You said 13. Is like, I'd rather not wear a pair of shoes than LeBron 13. In all honesty, that shoe is. Whew.
Yeah, I'll just take it off the board as a penance for messing up the sneakers as well as I'm sleep deprived. So give me the 13 and the laughter that comes with it.
It is slim pickings. You're right. There's not a whole lot left, right?
This damn soldier takeaway. I was going to thrive on the soldier lane, but Robbie, being the traditionalist that he is, and rightfully so, because this is the Zoom LeBron kind of countdown, but I was going to live on that soldier lane.
All right, so I'm gonna make my final pick, but I'm gonna make a caveat here and say for our 6th man, we can take something out of the soldier and
that is
Grandmaster
okay.
line.
Thank you, base God.
My fifth pick is the LeBron 14. I forget what the original colorway was actually nicknamed, but it had like the neon on it or the volt on it. Gray.
Flip the switch. What? No,
Yes.
no,
Switch,
no.
yeah.
It was not. It was not flip the switch, because flip the switch was a whole brand thing, a whole line they did with Kyrie and Paul George with a whole bunch of people. Oh man, I know this too. It's one of the rarest LeBrons to ever drop, because it only released.
Is it the coming out of nowhere?
Yes, coming out of nowhere, because it literally did. It released on sneakers during a game. I think it was on Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't get that
Christmas
shoe.
Day. Yeah, against the Warriors,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That shoe's rare and good.
Yeah. Wish I would have got a pair.
They did a red carpet also, like a LeBron 7 inspired 14. That's also very good.
Yep.
There's a lot of good 14s actually. So then,
All right, you want to start us off with a 6-man pick, Robbie?
I do. Ooh. Actually, you know what? It's not that hard. I'm gonna keep it in the family, because it may not be a looker, but she's a feeler. The LeBron 16. That shoe is an awkward tongue, so it like flippy flappies on the side. It kind of comes up, kind of like an origami fan. A lot of weird descriptions I'm trying to give, but it's a weird tongue. It's awful. But on your foot, that shoe is a beast. It's like, it's kind of square at the toe, so there's a lot of room for your toe, so nothing squishes. The Air Max Zoom and kind of regionalized areas feel great. On foot comfort's out of this world. Again, knit is really cool. You had some cool LeBron watch, I think, colorways too.
Yep.
I'm just literally thinking of the Laker colorway I have in the closet and how comfortable it is. I wear it to the gym. It's a very nice everyday shoe. Oh, there's like a Martin colorway too. The quality colorways.
Right, the purple one, right?
Yeah, there's a LeBron 3. That's when they started doing like the fusions. So they have like a King's Pride looking one. Superman, LeBron 16. Lots of cool ones. Watch the Throne, one of Mike's favorites. So yeah, LeBron 16.
I think that's a great person to come off the bench for me, because now we are allowed to bring the Soldier line in. It's kind of a toss-up between two particular pairs, and I think I'm going to go with the Zoom Soldier 1, just because it's a special sneaker for me, because I think he had the 48-point special on that one, and then also it was one of those free pair of shoes we got as interns when I was at Nike in the summer of 08 or 07, can't remember now, but yeah, Zoom Soldier 1 for me.
That's a good pick. That's the only Zoom Soldier that I own. This is the first one. My 6-man, I got to go with the Soldier 10, just because championship, LeBron, the ID, the black and gold, and straps, no laces. Sign me up.
I think I've told this story before, but there was one point in my life where I owned like 6 pairs of that shoe, 5 or 6, and I was like, why the fuck do I have 6 pairs of Soldier 10s? Because like from like pairs coming in to like championship packs to just like me liking a colorway or two, it's like, why do I have so many pairs of this shoe? I think I still have 3 of them now. But I got to go on one last thing. The 16 also had a medicine ball, the hot lava tech challenge colorway. There was a lot of really cool colorways. Oh, the glow in the dark. So a lot of 3 inspired stuff. But I just got to wax poetic once more about the 16, because nobody else is going to do it the rest of the year. So LeBron 16, you're beautiful.
You can actually get those hot lavas for a pretty decent price still too.
I bet you can get a lot of those
really
shoes. I mean, I'm going to be looking. I shouldn't be looking. I'm curious now.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, a lot of the LeBron line, I don't think of it as like shoes that I have to have. But when I look back at it, it is really solid. Like, it's been a really good, like, consistent with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions where you could, maybe toss a shoe out here and there. Generally speaking, like, I would be happy with any of those choices, any of your guys' choices. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how the 19 is perceived once it kind of hits the mainstream and is everywhere, and we get to see it more often once the season starts too.
I'm stoked for it. I think the Space Jam colorway wasn't for me, but this black pair we're seeing a lot, and the black and red pair the Instagram posted a couple days ago, those particularly look really good. So I think it's about business. It's very about business shoe. Like you're not going to go wear that to like Home Depot. You're going to go wear that in a pickup game.
Definitely agree. All right, well, that's a wrap for this episode. My starting five, the LeBron line. Let us know what your picks would be. Let us know who made the best choices, who made the worst choices. I mean,
can we recap it really quick? I mean, I wrote.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I'll go first. So yeah, LeBron 3, LeBron 8, LeBron 10, LeBron 2, LeBron 17, LeBron 16 for me.
Excellent. I'll go next. I have the 1, the 6, the 9, the 15, the 13, and then the Zoom Soldier coming off the bench.
Yeah, I got the LeBron 7, the LeBron 4, LeBron 5, the LeBron 11, the LeBron 14, and the Soldier 10 for my sixth man. So
fire.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. Leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not a member of the Discord, hit the link in the description. It'll be the first one in the description, and join the community. There's a lot of good people in there talking sneakers all the time, and it's just a fun place to be. And that's pretty much it. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya. Just like LeBron.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, I wanted to thank you for listening to the Sneaker History Podcast. We just launched our new merch, including tees, stickers, keychains, and a bunch of other pieces you can grab to show your support for the podcast. You can purchase it now through our companion site, sittingtreasure.com. You can also get access to more episodes of the podcast by joining our Discord community at patreon.com/sneakerhistory. Plus, we've got a bunch of other fun things going on in the community, including trivia nights, giveaways, access to sneaker raffles from around the world, release announcements, and my favorite, just good people helping good people get the sneakers they want. Plus, we're not bought by advertisers, investors, or other big money. I'm confident in saying this is the best sneaker community I've ever been a part of. We've also teamed up with a few partners to offer our supporters discounts. You can find some in the links for this episode and even more in our Discord. Give us a try, and if you don't enjoy it, you can always cancel the membership at any time. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to be on the receiving end of someone showing appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace. Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.